Ooh, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to Good Game Reviews. Not doing a review, not doing a reaction, none of that. I'm doing something that I haven't really done for the first time, so please take it easy on me. Please. Um, I'm going to be doing a draft, kind of a mock draft. I was gonna come up with something fancy, but it's a mock draft. It's another mock draft like you've seen on here 100 times. I'm just doing my version because I've never done one before. I don't even really do them on the computer really. Usually I just eye players that I would personally like or players that I could see fitting in with my team. Um, but as far as like going through like a whole like kind of draft process, looking down the board, seeing exactly, what encompasses a certain player and seeing if he's a good fit. It's something I haven't done before, and it forces you to look at a lot more players than you usually would if you were just going down your team, like specifically your team, just the players that are already there. This, whole nother level. So take it easy. All right. So as far as the first round, I have the Patriots picking at pick 23, Patrick Queen, linebacker out of LSU. Stands at 6'1", 227. The thing I like about Patrick Queen mostly is just his ability to play all over the field. I mean, it seems like he can get through gaps real easy. He's really good at coverage. He has the speed. If you can go and see his Clemson tape, if you want to call it that. It's more like a highlight reel, but you can go see his Clemson tape. Um, at no point did the quarterback want to try him. At no point did Trevor want to try him at all. He stayed on his man most of the time. Other time he would just shoot through the gap, get a sack or get a tackle for loss. The guy's really fast, and he knows how to use his hands well. So I could see the Patriots picking either Patrick Queen. A lot of mock drafts I've seen end with them picking Zach Bond. That's an option that I've seen them pick. But they have him more as like an edge. If you go and look him up, they'll have him more as an edge rather than like a linebacker. But yeah, Patrick Queen. As far as the 87 pick in the third round, I have them picking wide receiver Darnell Mooney out of Tulane. Now he's kind of small for a receiver. He's 5'11", 175, so a really small frame. If you're looking at me, I am pretty much like 160. So if you looking at like my body, you add about 15 more pounds onto that. That's pretty much what you're looking at. Um, but never mind his body, because that seems to be like the only knock on Darnell Mooney is the body. How big is he? This forget that. This guy is a burner. He is a burner. He's got 4.3 speed. He uses his hands nicely to extend himself away from the defender and reach out and grab the pass. I've seen him make some really good catches on some tape. A real outside threat. Has really really good vertical running. So I mean, we need somebody like that, because as far as like guys who can take the top off the defense, you don't really have that with the Patriots right now. The fastest guy they have currently, um, it has to be Demir Bird, that we just got, and supposedly he runs a 4.2, or something in that range, 4.2, 4.3 speed. I don't know. but obviously it hasn't really worked for him that much, considering how underutilized he's been. So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we as far as the Demir Bird goes, the biggest thing I've liked as far as like big plays, I've seen punt returns or I mean kick returns. So, but that's about it. But Darnell Mooney shows the ability to be able to extend and be able to get separation, even though that's a knock on him, his ability to get separation. As far as when he's on a go route and he's trying to extend himself away from the defender, he'll push his hand out. A lot of people want to call that pushing. It's like it's whatever. Defenders doing his thing with his hands. I would say it's pretty much like a fair thing, but whatever. Extends his arm out, catch the ball. So I have him as the 87 pick. As far as the next third round pick goes, at the 98 overall pick, I have Joshua Uche. Yeah, I'm about to butcher his name so bad. Joshua Uche out of Michigan. Edge position, nice size, at least to me, 6'1", 241. That might seem a little small as far as the edge goes, but I like the size. I mean, but forget the size once again. This is a guy who gets after it. It's like his motor's never off. He's constantly going. It's like even when if you're looking at his tape, you think the tackle has him, and he just keeps pushing the tackle back until he just gets free. And a lot of things you might see in his tape is his ability to cause fumbles and turnovers. So that's a nice trait I like to see as far as like edge rushers go. Dude got a lot of power. You're not going to be able to really like keep him off the quarterback for long because he's going to keep pushing. But yeah, as far as the next third round pick, Patriots do have 3 third round picks. I don't really think they're going to use all these third round picks, but I'm just going to go down as I see it. But as far as like the next third round goes, we have the 100 overall pick. And with this pick, I decided to go safety only as a depth need because we are getting older at that position. So I felt that the Patriots might find it necessary to find a safety somewhere in this mid-round range. So I have them getting Kyle Duggar out of Lenore Ryan. Lenore Ryan. He's got a nice size to him, 6'1", 217. The only thing I would say about this is that there isn't like the level of competition. When you look at the tapes, there's a lot of small name schools. Not a lot of, I'll say a lot of things that you can go on because it's very limited. But as far as his ability to cover the field, his ability to play man at times, his ability to come down and pretty much spot out, fakes and whatnot. I mean, the guy's real. He's really good. Now, only reason I have the Patriots picking them is because of like a depth kind of situation that the Patriots got going on. Patrick Chung, he's up there. Devin McCourty, he's up there. And as far as any of the other safeties go, if you want to get a Grant Delpit kind of guy, or Xavier McKinney kind of guy, that's pretty much going to be in that first to second round kind of range. So I don't really see if the Patriots keep it the way it is and don't try to get a pick in that second round or try to get probably 2 picks in that second round, especially with the new 4th round pick that they were able to get. Maybe they can kind of combine some picks. I don't know. But if they don't find a way to get into the second round, this would probably be their best choice as far as safety goes. If they decide to go at safety at this point, that would be their best option, Kyle Duggar. As far as the 4th round goes, with the first 4th round pick that the Patriots have at overall 125. I have them getting KJ Hill, wide receiver out of Ohio State. Now, a lot of y'all might be confused. Why did I just now have KJ Hill coming to us and then I have Darnell Mooney over him? Well, only reason why Darnell Mooney is over KJ Hill is an excellent route runner. He's an excellent route runner. He broke some records at his school, but it's more of a speed thing to me. I feel that the Patriots have enough guys who can play that slot position. And as far as KJ Hill goes, I could probably see him as a guy who would take Edelman's spot once Edelman's gone. But I'm looking for more of a speed type of thing. I kind of want the offense to kind of speed up a little bit because currently the Patriots have probably one of the slowest receiving cores in the league. I mean, you got your literally like the fastest guy who's like a starter right now is dang, I'm blanking on his name. N'Keal Harry, and he's 4.53. So yeah. But KJ Hill, he runs 4.6. He's a good route runner. He has nice movement. He can make some real good catches. A lot of things I've seen were like kind of like screen type plays, but I know he does more. I know he does more than that. But that seems to be like a thing that they'll usually use him for. So, I mean, hey, receptions are receptions, but you know, have to factor that in as well. As far as this next fourth round pick goes, I have the Patriots using that fourth round pick on Ashton Davis. This is another safety out of California. One reason because he's just real versatile, and that's really all I really got to say on him. He's a versatile player. They use him everywhere around the field. At some points they have him playing corner. At some points they have him playing safety. They just move him around a lot on the field, and I think versatility is just something that the Patriots like to look for. So he could definitely fill in as like maybe like a sub in option or whatever. But that's how I see him. I mean, there isn't like a lot of things that really impress me when it comes to him, but I like the fact that he's real versatile. So that would be my thing that I go with him for. Also, if I didn't mention his measurements, he's 6'1", 195, so pretty decent measurement. Next, I have the fifth pick, 172 overall, and for that player, I have Dustin Woodward, inside offensive lineman out of Memphis, my city, my alma mater. 6'2", 285. So as far as like the weight, it's kind of like 285. It to me kind of seems like a small size for a guard. Personally, I like it. I like my guards in that kind of like 306 to 315 type range or 320 type range. I mean, that's how I like the measurements, but 285 is whatever. One thing about him though is he's real strong. He doesn't have too much tape, and it's hard to find tape on offensive linemen. You kind of just have to find what you can get. But what I was able to find was a nice video where he's just pushing guys out of the way. He's just like the first thing you see is just him taking the guy and then just dragging him across the ground like he's a lawnmower. It is very entertaining to see, and I really like. As far as I can see, he's real good at run blocking, pass blocking. He's really good. He doesn't get bullied. He doesn't get knocked back a lot. So I like it. I like his play style. Even though the size might be a concern for some people, he definitely has the power. As far as 6th round pick, I have the 195 overall pick, and that's going to go to Kendall Coleman, the edge out of Syracuse. He's 6'3", 253 pounds. So the number one thing I've seen on him is that he does have power, I would say, but I mean that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I saw out of Kendall Coleman. Uh, I mean, Edge was like kind of like once you get to like the last 7 guys, the quality in Edge guys, it kind of starts dropping. So you don't really see like that many like good guys. I mean, he does like a thing that they kind of knock him on is explosiveness, but he seemed pretty strong to me when I looked at him on the tape, and pretty much technique. So they like him for his technique. Uh, at least guys who have like seen him like scouts, they like him for his technique. But yeah, the 5th round was probably the trickiest one because there's only one pick, and usually in the 5th pick, the Patriots like to go kind of like a defensive kind of pick. We saw 2 years ago, actually, 2 years ago when they was able to pick up Juwan Bentley. He was and that was a nice 5th round pickup. So maybe this time they'll go edge and get Kendall Coleman. As far as this next 6th round pick that I got coming up, this is at pick 204, and I absolutely love this pick. Dalton King, tight end out of Virginia Tech, 6'4", 242. Dalton King, oh my goodness. Dalton King is probably one of the most sneakiest picks out of just players in general, not including tight ends, but just players in general out of this whole draft. Versatility is an understatement for this guy. You can see him play fullback, you can see him play tight end, you can see him block. His blocking is amazing. He will literally knock guys 5 yards back, and he doesn't stop. He does not stop. One thing you would want to see as far as Dalton King goes, is different routes. So not a lot of different routes that you would see him run. They'll usually like put him on like a certain like kind of crossing route, kind of drag route, and that'll be like the main thing that you will see him do. But there are moments where you will see him go over the middle and he'll make a really nice catch, and he will get like just leveled, but he will hang on to the ball. So nice hands too. You can go watch his combine tape if you want. It's like a few combine videos that you're gonna see as far as the tight ends go. But keep your eye on Dalton King. Every drill, he pretty much just has no problem with it, no problem whatsoever. He was probably the best looking tight end in my opinion, as far as the combine went. So he had a really nice combine. He has really nice tape. He's really versatile. Only knock on him is production as far as, different routes and whatnot. Just things like that. But everything else, really, really, really good. As far as potential, I like it. I really do like it. I really, honestly, I feel like he can just come in from the beginning and just start. And another interesting fact, he was compared to George Kittle as far as like George Kittle having like the kind of like similar numbers and not a lot as far as production that they could like find on him, but similar measurements. Similar measurements. Both as far as looking at college stats and combine measurements. So keep your eye on Dalton King. Could be a steal. Major steal. I hope the Patriots are the ones to do it. As far as this next 6th-round pick goes, I went kicker with Rodrigo Blankenship. Not really a lot to find on him. Just really accurate kicker. His longest was I think it was like a 50-yarder. Yeah, I think it was a 50-yarder. Pretty much that's it. He's just a really accurate kicker. As far as like his field goal percentage, it's around the lower 80s marks. So really good, really good. As far as this next 7, I went in this 7th-rounder. I kind of was like just all over the place for this one, but I think these are some good 7th-round picks. Oh, excuse me. Have one more 6th-round pick. Excuse me. With the 6th-round pick at 213 overall, I have the Patriots picking up James Prochet, wide receiver out of SMU, 5'11", 196. Now, here are the things that I love about James Prochet. He knows how to run routes. He knows how to get to certain places for his quarterback. His best tape, his Memphis tape, you see him run a lot of curl routes, comebacks, and I mean, it's pretty much just automatic. I mean, I don't know if it's just a connection between him and his quarterback, but anytime he ran that route, it was an automatic catch. He knows how to get open. He knows how to get call separation, but it's not going to be with anything that he does with his movements. It's pretty much going to be with his hands. So it's going to be with his hand fighting. He's got some good hand fighting, but if a guy gets on him like too early and he can't shake him off, he's pretty much stuck there. He's not going to be an outside guy. He's another guy, another 4'6" guy. So he's not going to be some guy who takes the top off the edge. Off the defense. He's pretty much going to be slot. That's going to be his role. He's going to be a slot receiver, but he's going to be a good one. And hands, like glue. He, for a guy of his size, he can make some really nice contested catches, and some of the one-hand catches I've seen this guy make, it is ridiculous. Just flat out ridiculous. So hands, as far as the hands department goes, he's set. He's set. So for a team who was 2nd or 3rd as far as drop passes went last year, this will be a major pickup, especially as far as a late 6th round goes. 7th pick. 7th round. We got the 230 pick overall, and I have the Patriots selecting, yes, a quarterback, Jake Ludden, out of Oregon State, 6'7", 230. So pretty big guy, pretty tall guy. The best thing about Jake Ludden is decision making. He's not gonna get rid of the ball carelessly. He's very, very, very careful with the ball. So that's one thing that the Patriots like out of their quarterbacks. They like a guy who is going to be careful with the ball, who's not going to make a lot of turnovers, who's not going to make a lot of risky throws. If that's who you want, Jake Ludden's the guy. As far as just like being able to move, like I said, 6'7". So, not the quick, like he's not. That's not what you're gonna see him for. He's not gonna be a guy who's gonna be able to move around. That's just not his things. But If you want a guy who's going to be sturdy in the pocket and is going to make good decisions with the ball, Jake Luton's the guy. Also, another thing, I know a lot of people see this as a knock that he likes to go to his check downs a lot, especially when he gets kind of well, I don't want to say stressed, but when his receivers are pretty much covered up and he doesn't really see anything open initially, he if it's at that, like right at that point, and he's seeing a guy that he wants to throw to and he's already covered up, he's going to be more likely to go to his check down, and he does this a lot. A lot of people see it as a knock. I just see it as taking what they give you. So, hey, as far as the next 7th-round pick, we have the 241 overall with Shaquille Quarterman, 6'1", 241. Now, they knock him on his size, being that he's 241, also linebacker out of Miami. But as far as his technique goes, he has really, really, really nice technique. He uses his hands very nicely. So if you want a guy who can has nice hand movements and stuff like that, Shaquille Quarterman, he's the guy. Nice pickup in the 7th round. Hey, Shaquille. Excuse me. I'm just really giddy today. Really giddy. I don't know why. But yeah, that was it. Also, I wanted to go ahead and do this. I wanted to go through some names that I probably didn't mention in the video that you probably expected to hear as far as like a Patriots mock draft went. But here's some players that popped out to me, but some players that I didn't really think we would have a chance of getting, or the Patriots probably wouldn't go for them. First, I wanted to go to wide receiver KJ Hamler. This guy is a speed demon. You heard what I said about Darnell Mooney? I mean, this guy, he has wheels. He has wheels. I just don't think that the Patriots would be able to get him as long as they had just these 3rd-round picks and no 2nd-round pick. I don't really see them getting KJ Hamler, but that is the guy that I was eyeing. Also, another wide receiver, Denzel Mims. He's more likely, especially with what he was able to show in the combine, he's more likely to go in the 2nd round, the early 2nd round, or late 1st round at best. So unless they want to use that 1st-round pick on Denzel Mims, if he's there instead of Patrick Queen at 23, they're pretty much going to have to pass upon him, and somebody else is going to grab him. But out of all the receivers in here, he's pretty much like my top 3. But got to be a little realistic when it comes to these drafts. So yeah. As far as edge, I had Curtis Weaver and I had Zach Bond. These are some really nice edge guys. You should watch their tape. Just playmaking ability. They know how to force the ball out. They know how to get around the edge very nicely. But like I said, these are some early round guys. So if the Patriots want to move down to 2nd, or they want to use that 1st-round pick, that's where they're going to have to use it for these guys. But other than that, yeah. Safety, Grant Delpit, same thing. So, yeah. Solomon Kinley. Now, this is a guy that you can probably get in the mid-rounds, but he's more of like a project type of guy to me. It's a lot of things that he was going to have to clean up, and he's also going to have to drop some weight, especially at where he's playing. He's around 336. He's a guard. They question him about his mobility, so he would probably have to be asked to lose some weight once he came in. And last, as far as quarterbacks go, Jake Fromm, somewhere in the 3rd round. That's where I had it. The thing about Jake Fromm is, like Jake Luton, he doesn't make a ton of mistakes, but that's it's kind of also a knock on him because he doesn't want to make a mistake, so he would probably miss out on that deep shot opportunity. So that's a knock on him. Also, not a good. I mean, he's not known for rushing. Does not have a lot of rushing attempts at all as far as his college career goes. So, not a guy that you're gonna see like rushing the football. Pretty much a guy who, who makes good decisions. He's a guy who makes good decisions. He has a decent arm. He can put it. He can put it in some nice pockets at times, but yeah. So Jake Fromm, if they want to go quarterback in the third round, this is like the most likely option. Like right at the beginning of the third round, they could possibly see to get Jake Fromm if that's the route that they want to go. But seeing that they went and got Jarrett Stidham in the fourth round last year, I don't really see them going into the third round and getting the quarterback. I don't really see them getting the quarterback at all unless it's like a late round. But they're gonna have to get another guy because they only have two guys on the roster, so it's gonna make sense. But at best, it's gonna be a late round type of deal, 6th round or 7th round, somewhere in that range. I don't really see them picking the quarterback early. There's other needs to really fill on the team, like linebacker and wide receiver and tight end. So those needs, a lot of holes in those areas. I see them filling up those holes a little earlier than trying to find the starting quarterback after expressing how confident they are in Jarrett Stidham. Wouldn't really make sense for them to go so early to get a guy who's pretty much going to start competing with Jarrett Stidham. So, I mean, that's just how I see it. But that's pretty much it. Am I forgetting something? I always feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, yes. Also, I wanted to mention tight end Adam Trotman. Another guy, I don't really think that the Patriots would be able to get him. You know the spiel. First round or second or late first round or second rounder type. Yeah. Basically what I'm saying is I would like the Patriots to find a way to get a second round pick if they can. But if everything stays the same, what I stated earlier are what I see as the most likely picks. So that's unless everything stays the same. Anyway, that was my first draft that I've done on this channel. First mock draft. Like I said, y'all can hit me with the criticism. Just don't be too brutal. This is my first time. And honestly, like to say, I had fun looking at, different players, looking at different videos, looking at tape and all that stuff, reading profiles. I had fun doing it. I don't really do it often, so it was a nice experience. Hopefully, Patriots have a fruitful draft, considering all the losses that they've seen in the free agency. So hopefully we get some really, really, really good picks. I'm looking at Dalton Keene though. I'm still. Hey, hold out for it, y'all. I mean, y'all might not know, but once he gets there, y'all gonna know. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Until next time, I'm out.